Well, hey, baby, it's your favorite auntie, Auntie Fee. And baby, today we're talking $1 billion moves because Angel Reese and Reebok is in their $6 billion bag. Because when billionaires start making moves, you better believe there's a whole lot of zeros behind that vision. Now, let me introduce you to Jamie Salter, billionaire founder and executive chairman of Authentic Brand Group, the company that owns Reebok. Jamie bought Reebok from Adidas for about 2.46 billion, 2.5 if you want to round it off, back in 2022. And Jamie isn't sitting in a factory somewhere making sneakers. Nope. ABG owns the rights to Reebok and works with partners to actually make and sell the products. But here's where Shaq comes into this story. And baby, let me give you a quick little Reebok history lesson first. Shaq and Reebok go way back. We all know that. Back in 1992, before Shaq had even played his first NBA game, Reebok bet on that big old fella. They signed him to what was, at that time, Reebok's biggest athlete endorsement deal. And then gave him something even bigger, his own signature shoe. The Shaq Attack, baby. Who remember that one? I do. So Shaq already knew what it meant for a brand to take a chance on you before you became the finished product. And baby, that history matters. It really matters. Because fast forward to Shaq becoming Reebok's president of basketball. And now he's actually the one sitting at the table deciding which young players are worth betting on. And Shaq wasn't looking for the big names. He wanted the college students, the next generation, the players who hadn't reached their full potential yet. So Shaq went to Jamie and said, "Trust me, give me a big budget." And Jamie gave him a smaller startup budget instead because he had to prove himself first. Now, Shaq could have said, "Well, I can't do much with that." But nope. Shaq said, "Bet." Because Shaq knew exactly what Reebok had done for him. Now he wanted to find the next generation of players Reebok could build with. And one of those players, baby, was Angel Reese. Because Shaq wasn't just looking at Angel, the basketball player. He saw the personality, the confidence, the influence, the followers, her star power. He saw somebody who could help connect Reebok with this whole new generation. And that's the part I love. Shaq wasn't betting on where Angel was. He was betting on where he believed Angel was going. Now that's vision, baby.
I got an idea. You just got to trust me on this. He says, we're going to sign this player. Her name's Angel Reese, and we're going to sign her up. And I'm telling you, this is going to be very, very important to Reebok's future and to the game of basketball. He believed that she could move the needle for our company, and he could change the way people think of the WNBA. Because the money that was being paid the WNBA players was kind of not fair. Women in sport today, 3 years ago, they're making substantially a lot more money.
And after watching that, you can understand why Shaq wanted Angel in that Reebok family. Because this wasn't just about putting a logo on a jersey. This was about finding young talent and building with them. And Angel had exactly the kind of present you want when you're trying to bring a brand back into the conversation.
can remember going in his office asking for a big budget, and he's quickly calmed me down and says, You're not Shaq. You're Shaquille O'Neal, you're the president of basketball. I'm not giving you a big budget till you prove yourself. So he gave me this size budget, and we had to come up with a new strategy that worked very, very well. Instead of going after the high-profile professional athletes, we started with the youngins, and Angel Reese signed with us. We got a couple of players, and the Angel Reese, she was doing phenomenal. So that was a great learning experience for me.
Fast forward, Reebok, I guess we're going on our 5th year now, and Reebok is almost double since we bought the business. It'll do close to $6 billion. It's come a long way, really fast.
Now, baby, let's talk about that vision. Shaq believed in Angel. Jamie trusted Shaq, and Angel came into Reebok with that big old aura of hers and said, okay, let's build. And look at Reebok now. A brand Jamie Salter bought from Adidas for around $2.46 billion, 2.5 if you want to round it off. Now being talked about in the neighborhood of $6 billion in growth. Baby, that's what I call a startup budget with a startup result. And I'm giving Shaq his flowers because he saw something in Angel before everybody else caught up. I'm giving Jamie his flowers because he trusted Shaq's vision. And most importantly, I'm happy they believed in Angel. Because sometimes you don't need the biggest name in the room. You need the person with the potential to become the biggest name in the room. Shaq saw that potential in Angel. Baby, she brought the aura. That's what happens when you make the right bet on the right person at the right time. And baby, this one looks like a bet that's paying off. So until next time, take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. Laugh a little. And don't let the internet have you arguing with your blood pressure. Net snap. That's a wrap, baby.